Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for my client Michelle's vlog. And out of my two clients that I still choose to vlog, Michelle still does conjugate, Demi does not. So that's kind of come up. And it has to do with what the client wants and what they're trying to accomplish. And the thing to keep in mind with Michelle, she is pushing tons and tons of conditioning work. She's pretty much a machine. I've had some people try to be critical of the amount of training she does because they're like, you do extra workouts on the weekends. Because people who follow her social media realize she does more workouts than these 4 that I prescribe per week. Okay, I don't program those. I just work around what we're doing. So let's talk about that for a moment. And again, I'm not going to discuss ever a client's medical information, but she has kind of said publicly when people say you train too much, she's like, my doctors want me training this much. And I'm very, very aware of that. Like, I'm fully aware as her coach at Price of these sort of situations. So I'm kept in the loop. But yes, technically, her primary medical doctor encourages her to train and exercise literally as much as possible. And they're very, very pleased with the results. And if she chooses to ever discuss that in public, that's her own business as to why that is. So just for people who've tried to make criticisms, because I've seen that, and there's even been a few people who've tried to make little goofball channels make criticism videos, and they really have no clue what's going on. And that's okay. They don't need to know. She is supposed to be training this much, perfectly fine. Again, I want to be clear, the level of training that she does and what she does and the way that we approach it has been fully cleared by a medical doctor. Okay? Before anyone starts talking about this is dangerous. So just, stay in your own wheelhouse, people. All right, but we started the week off with a bench press for our max effort day. And we're pretty happy with the bench there. She's, again, very, very close to a meet. And that comes up too. A lot of times people are like, how come, she doesn't really, you're not doing true peaks for meets. You just have her come in and hit the lifts, because she maxes year round. And we do a lot of volume. Okay, we do tons and tons of volume. She maximizes body composition. Again, notice the changes in the physique. She is down a full weight class, and she's going to continue to recomp the way that she's doing at this point. And that's the other thing. People will say, is recomp possible? Yeah, recomp is very possible, but you people aren't going to do it. And that is really the take-home message when it comes to recomposition, training volumes, all that stuff. The people who successfully recomposition, like their whole life is around training. Okay, that's why I tell people, so a little bit of bulking and cutting is slow bulks and cuts are not a bad thing for most people, because most people, they're 2 hours of training a week and they're done, maybe 3. They're not going to live in the gym. So recomposition at a more advanced level, it's not really happening, guys. Okay, not happening, and that's okay. But in Michelle's case, we do these 4 workouts, which are pretty intense in terms of total volumes. She writes 2 of her own separate workouts every week, and she does conditioning work pretty much 7 days a week. She exceeds her 10,000 steps, and she does sled work and other GPP pretty much on a daily basis. So in terms of being a conditioned athlete, her training loads are in the hours per day. All right? They're in the hours. All right. You guys saw the other supplement work. By the way, the pull-ups, I think she's up to 15. She can do 15 on sets of pull-ups now. So again, let's talk about how conditioned of an athlete this woman is. She does conditioning 7 days a week, and she's now doing sets of 15 on the pull-ups. Right? Sets of 15 on the pull-ups. All right, she decided also this week to try the split squats on the safety bar. And they're a little awkward, but actually I think it looks pretty good. You can see her face there on that. She's kind of like, a little bit of a stumble. Again, we want lots and lots of quad work. Lots of quad work. because that's what we need to bring her squats up. But yeah, that's the thing. The recomposition here has been noticeable at this point, right? Because we're stronger, we're trimmer, we're leaner, and ultimately she's going to end up being shredded. At the rate we're going with all this stuff, and now that she's in this new weight class, in another year, I mean, she's gonna have a phenomenal physique by most standards for a drug-free woman. And we need to keep in mind she is a drug-free lifter. Okay, she is a drug-free lifter. And so that gives us the option to compete in both things. Her next meet coming up is a drug-tested meet, and again, no problem passing a test because she's legitimately clean. I always warn her about over-the-counter supplements, though, because that's come up. You guys know I'm not a fan of supplements, but some of my lifters have a few that they choose to use that they feel gives them something. And as a coach, I just kind of say, okay, I mean, if you really want to, it's your money. But, it is what it is. All right, for other work here, we focus on posterior chains. She does glute ham raises, weighted. Again, building those hamstrings, right? I want to see more quad and hamstring on her. All right, it's really what we need a lot of, and glute. The glutes are coming along though. She actually has visibly more glute now finally. So we've made great progress there, and notice her deadlift lockouts tend to be a little cleaner accordingly. But yeah, so this is pretty much what our supplemental work looks like on max effort day. And then I'm throwing in her abs because she writes her own ab stuff. She's always doing different stuff. And I'm like, look, just train your abs as much as you want. You pick whatever you want to do and just run with it. Because again, and people need to keep in mind, even though she's one of my long-term lifters and competitors, she is herself a personal trainer, right? She started doing her own training and coaching. So again, I like to give my lifters like that, some wiggle room on some things like that. Let them be creative. Let them apply their own craft to certain things. I don't want her programming her main and primary accessory work on the days. That's my job. But things like her core work, her supplemental workouts, yeah, use yourself as your own body as a learning tool, right? All good. But here she's doing her ab wheel rollouts. And then, of course, we finish up the week with our speed work, right? Finish up the week with speed work. So we do speed bench, and then we do the same accessories, barring flat bench. Lower body days, we do speed squats, right? We do speed squats, followed by, and we're trying to get really deep on those speed squats, followed by speed pulls, speed deadlifts. And then outside of that, we pretty much do the same accessory work that we do for the rest of the week. And I'll let you guys finish up watching some of this footage. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.